Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are good. So today we are going to see the guidelines on the practical precipitation reactions of protein. So this is one of the important practical from the point of the protein. So what is meant by precipitation reactions of the protein that we'll see today? Here the different tests are seen, we'll see from the point of the precipitation reactions of the protein. What is meant by precipitation? The question arises here. Precipitation means you must know that proteins are colloidal substances. They are the colloidal molecules or colloidal substances. They form colloids in the solution. So here you must know what are the colloidal solutions. The colloidal solutions, if you define, you can define in such a manner that it is a mixture of dispersed insoluble particles of one substance are suspended in another substance. So this is the definition of the colloidal solution. What are the colloidal solutions? It is a mixture of dispersed insoluble particles of one substance are suspended in another substance. You can define it in another manner also. Material is evenly suspended in liquid. The colloidal solutions are the material is evenly suspended in liquid. Example, butter and blood. So you must know that butter will contain number of fatty acids, saturated, unsaturated, and here you must know that blood will contain the solid forms of the different cells, white blood corpuscles, red blood corpuscles, and it is just suspended in the plasma. So you must know that this blood and butter are the examples of colloidal solutions. In other way, you can define colloidal solutions: heterogeneous mixture of the substances in two phases. What are the colloidal solutions? They are the heterogeneous mixture of the two substances in two phases. For example, here it is given oil and water. When oil is mixed with water, these are the two different phases. So here the substances are regularly suspended in fluid. The meaning of the colloidal solution: substances are regularly suspended in fluid. So that are the colloidal solutions. So you must know that proteins are precipitated. How? The polar group of proteins have ammonia group, acid group, and OH group, and these groups, they attract the water shell. What is a water shell? Water shell. So this water shell is nothing. Water is imbibed to proteins. And this water shell is removed when the proteins are precipitate. So you must know that the removal of water molecule is the process known as dehydration. So here the proteins, they are precipitated by the process known as dehydration, means removal of water molecule will take place and precipitation reactions of protein will be seen. So you must know that proteins are also precipitated by denaturation. Denaturation is nothing but it is a process where the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure of protein are disrupted, means disturbed. So you must know that the folding form of the protein becomes unfolded. This is a process of denaturation. And you must know the aggregation of the denaturation is said to be coagulum. So coagulum and denaturation, they are the different forms of the precipitation reactions of protein. Actually, meaning of the precipitation reactions of protein, if you see the color of water, it is colorless. If you are mixing anything in it, so there will be the formation of turbidity. Whiteness will occur, and that whiteness is nothing but it is a precipitation reaction with other substances. So you must know that whenever some substances are added to the protein, it will become turbid in nature, or precipitation will occur there. So precipitation of the proteins can occur by the process of dehydration, denaturation, and proteins are also precipitated by isoelectric pH. At isoelectric pH, proteins are precipitated. So these are the different methods by which precipitation reactions of protein can be seen. So friends, first of all, the guideline I will give you that it is very essential to wear the apron in the laboratory, because hazardous of the solutions, toxic substances are kept in the laboratory of the institute. Then you should wear this apron is compulsory. So this wearing of the apron is that if there, while performing the test, the acids, the mineral acids, the concentrated mineral acid, HCl, H2SO4, nitric acid, and other acids, they should not fall on the body. If it will fall, then your clothes will burn and it will affect the skin also. So you must know that wearing of the apron is very important. So this is one of the most important guideline for the practical, when you are carrying the practical in the institute, in the laboratory. So you must know that the precipitation of reaction, removal of shell and of hydration, removal of shell of hydration is called as precipitation reactions. Water is imbibed with protein molecule, this is called as water shell. And I have already told you that the precipitation reactions of protein is carried out by different process in the laboratory: dehydration, denaturation, and at isoelectric pH. Now we'll see the tests which are based on the precipitation reactions of protein. First of all, we'll see the salting out precipitation reaction of protein by salting out method. The first experiment or test is said to be salting out. So here, in this salting out method, we'll see that how proteins are precipitated. So here we'll see first test, observation, and principle or inference. So these are the three different columns made to carry out the test. First one is test, then observation, and then in principle or inference of the test. Friends, you must know that to carry out the test in the laboratory is not so difficult, but you should do it carefully with the concentration, and correct procedure should be followed for carrying out the test in the laboratory. Otherwise, this test can be also done by the technicians which are working in the institute. But the meaning of doing the practical in the institute or in the laboratory is that you must understand the observation as well as the principle behind that test. Why you are carrying the test and what is the meaning of carrying this test in the laboratory. So this salting out method, first we'll see protein which we are using as an original solution or which you will use in the as original solution in the laboratory, it will be the albumin or egg white. So these proteins are used in the laboratory as an original solution. In short we can say OS, original solution. So albumin is sometimes in the laboratory, the bovine albumin is used in the form of salt. It is dissolved in water and kept for the test, for the practical. So you must know bovine albumin or egg white. If you see, you know that there are two parts of the egg. First we can say that the white liquid and the egg yolk which is in the yellow color, that are the two parts. So here in the from this egg we are using only egg white as an original solution or bovine albumin in the crystal form which can be dissolved in water. So here salting out method means we are precipitating the proteins by ammonium sulfate powder. Ammonium sulfate powder. So you must know that this ammonium sulfate powder is used for the precipitation reactions of protein. Precipitation reactions of protein by salting out method, it is by full saturation and half saturation. Now we'll see first the half saturation. What is mean by the half saturation? You must know that the proteins, like simple proteins, they are the albumin and globulin. These are precipitated by half and full saturation. So you must know that the globulins are precipitated by the half saturation. First we'll see the half saturation. For this half saturation, you have to first make the saturated solution of ammonium sulfate powder. In this, you are taking the original solution here and you are adding the ammonium sulfate crystal or powder till the saturation occurs here. You should add the ammonium sulfate powder till the saturation occurs here. Saturation. Now what will happen in this? The upper layer will be in liquid form. It will be in liquid form and you must know, and that the lower part will be the particles of ammonium sulfate will be there. That will be in the solid form. So you must know that this becomes the saturated ammonium sulfate. So here you must know what you are using for half saturation. You are using 3 ml of original solution of protein and this 3 ml of original solution plus 3 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate solution means that the solution from the upper layer we are using, that is 3 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate for half saturation. So here in the test we are taking this and if observation will be there, white precipitation. This small symbol PPT we are using here for the precipitation of the protein. So what will be the observation here? After taking 3 ml of original solution plus 3 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate solution, there will be white precipitation, and this white precipitation occurs, and there it will be white precipitation means turbidity of protein can be seen. Now you can say that here in this half saturation globulins are in the principle. Why this white precipitation occurs? The principle is like this: globulins are precipitated. Globulins are precipitated. Why globulins are precipitated by half saturation? Because they are high molecular weight compounds. Therefore, by half saturation method, globulins are precipitated. Now we'll see the another part of the salting out, that is full saturation. This is full saturation method. In this, we are taking 3 ml of original solution plus we are adding ammonium sulfate powder till the saturation. Then we can observe the white precipitation. And here in full saturation, albumin, the simple proteins albumin, they are precipitate. They are precipitate, and this white precipitation occurs by the albumins. And why albumins are precipitated by full saturation? Because they are the low molecular weight compounds. Therefore, by full saturation albumins are precipitated, and by half saturation globulins are precipitated. So this is the salting out test for the precipitation reactions of protein. Now we'll see this. In this you must know this processes is carried out by dehydration. Here the dehydration is seen. Dehydration means the water molecule, water shell is removed. When the precipitation reactions of protein is seen here, the water molecule is removed. That is a process of dehydration. Removal of water molecule is said to be dehydration. Now we'll see the another test. That is Haller's test. Haller's test. In this test we are using the mineral acid, and the mineral acid like HCl, H2SO4 and nitric acid. So we are seeing this test with concentrated HCl. Here in this test what we have to see, we have to take in the test tube T, the test tube which are marked as test. We are taking 3 ml of concentrated HCl. See, it is very harmful test. At this moment you have to take the precaution not to play with the concentrated acids. I already told you in the beginning only, number of or hazardous chemicals are present in the laboratory. We should not play with that. So you have to take 3 ml of concentrated HCl in the test tube, and you are adding by the side of the test tube by in slanting position of the test tube. Means that suppose this is a test tube and you already taken the 3 ml of HCl, and you have to just make the position like this in slanting manner, and you have to add by the side of the test tube 3 ml of original solution. Then what will happen? So you will observe here the ring at the center of the between two layers, you will observe a white ring. And why this white ring appeared here? It is must to tell the principle or inference of the test. If you will not tell the principle, most of the time the principle is asked, the inference is asked in the examination by the examiner. So that is important for the viva purpose at the time of examination, which is called as table viva, or in grand viva also they can ask the question like this: why this ring appears, white ring appears? So the question of appearing this white ring after taking 3 ml of concentrated HCl in the test tube and 3 ml of original solution, white ring appears between the two layers, and or you can say in the center. And the meaning of appearing of this white ring is that the denaturation takes place here. In the beginning only I told you proteins are precipitated by the process of denaturation. So here denaturation is nothing but the folding form of protein becomes unfolded, and the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure, they are disrupted, and this process is known as denaturation. Means only primary structure remain there of this protein. We have to say that some structures are there of the proteins, primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. We'll see in the lecture, in the next video lecture. Now we'll see that the denaturation is the process, that is the disruption of the structure of the proteins, secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure. So due to the denaturation process, the white ring appears. What are denatured here? The albumin and globulin, they are denatured while taking the concentrated HCl with the original solution by the formation of white ring. So this is Haller's test. This is called as, Haller is nothing but it is a name of scientist. He discovered this test. Therefore the name is given Haller's test. Now here we'll see the another test that is called as the precipitation by heavy metals. The third test is precipitation by heavy metal. Now in the test, observation and inference or principle, we'll see. In the process of precipitation by heavy metal, we are using here lead acetate. What we are using? Lead acetate. So here you must know that the precipitation by heavy metals means 3 ml of original solution plus 2% five drops, or you can say 1 ml of 2% sodium carbonate solution, and you are adding 1 ml of lead acetate solution. Where you are taking these all? In the test tube marked as test. 3 ml of OS, 3 ml of 2% Na2CO3, 1 ml of lead acetate solution. Now here it is very interesting. Proteins are precipitated. Proteins are precipitated by the heavy metal. Heavy metal we can use mercury also, lead acetate also. So here we are using here lead acetate, and here you can see that we are taking 3 ml of original solution in a test tube, and 2% Na2CO3 we are adding here, and 1 ml of lead acetate. Now you must know that we are adding Na2CO3 means it is alkaline in nature. It is alkaline in nature. So here, what will happen here? The precipitation will be, white precipitation will be there, occur in the observation, white precipitation. Then why this white precipitation occurs here? By taking 3 ml of original solution, 2% Na2CO3 and 1 ml of lead acetate solution. Because in alkaline medium, proteins behave like acid. You must know the nature of amino acid is, it will have base also, it will have acid also. So you must know the acid is donor and the ammonium group is acceptor. So here you must know that in alkaline medium, protein behave like acid, means that the Na2CO3 which we are adding here in the test tube, at that time the proteins will become acidic in nature, and this acid is neutralized by the positive charge of lead acetate. So you must know that this precipitation by heavy metal, and here you can see that the proteins behave like acid in the alkaline medium. Proteins behave like acid in the alkaline medium. Just now I told you we are adding here Na2CO3. What is Na2CO3? It is alkaline. So here you must know that whenever the alkaline is added, at that time the protein becomes acidic in nature, and this negatively charged protein will be neutralized with the help of the positive charge of lead acetate. Means here the process of neutralization takes place. Process of neutralization takes place here. So here the precipitation by heavy metal. So you must know, you should take precaution while performing, because here 3 ml of original solution you have to take, and you have to add 1 ml of 2% Na2CO3 plus 1 ml of lead acetate solution, and observation will be white precipitation, and inference will be protein behave in alkaline medium acidic in nature, and this negatively charged is neutralized by the positively charge which is present in the lead acetate. So this is the precipitation by heavy metal. So this test is very important from the point of the life. Lead acetate test is important from the point of the life, means that whenever lead is nothing but it is a toxic in nature, Pb, which is said to be Pb, which is kept under the so you must know that the Pb or lead, it is toxic in nature and it is kept in the periodic table. So you must know that this lead, it is toxic whenever, suppose the lead is administered in the body unfortunately, then what happens? This precipitation reaction is important. The raw egg is used at that time to neutralize to precipitate the lead which is administered unfortunately in the body, because it is very poisonous one. So this is one of the important tests for. And what happens whenever the protein raw egg is used? What will happen? The absorption of the lead from the GIT will be stopped. The absorption of the lead from the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, will be stopped. Therefore, this raw egg is used for the precipitation of the proteins. So here you must know that this lead acetate is important. Now here we'll see the precipitation by alkaloidal reagent. Alkaloidal reagents. What are the alkaloidal reagents? TCA, phosphotungustic acid, S-batch reagent, sulfosalicylic acid, sulfosalicylic acid. So these are alkaloidal reagents. So you must know that these reagents, they are negatively charged. So here how they are neutralized, the precipitation, how the proteins are precipitated by alkaloidal reagents, we will see now. In the first column test, we'll take three ml of original solution, and to this we are adding 1 ml of 10% TCA solution, that is trichloroacetic. TCA means trichloroacetic acid. So here what we are seeing here, white precipitation occurs here. The precipitation will be white. The precipitation reaction of protein will be white in color. What is the principle of this test? That trichloroacetate proteins are precipitate and will form trichloroacetate. They will form trichloroacetate. When you are taking 3 ml of original solution, 1 ml of 10% TCA, white precipitation, and proteins are precipitate and will form trichloroacetate. Now if you take 3 ml of original solution plus 1 ml of 20% sulfosalicylic acid, sulfosalicylic acid, what will happen? There occur white precipitation will be seen, and what will form there? Sulfosalicylate. After the precipitation of protein, the compound sulfosalicylate will form, and these are called as alkaloidal reagent. TCA and sulfosalicylic acid, phosphotungustic acid, S-batch reagent. S-batch reagent is the mixture of picric acid and citric acid. Picric acid and citric acid is known as S-batch reagent. So this S-batch reagent, if we take 3 ml of original solution and 3 ml of S-batch reagent, then what will happen? S-batch reagent. S-batch so this S-batch reagent, if we take 3 ml of original solution plus 1 ml of S-batch reagent, then it will be yellow precipitation occur, and this yellow precipitation will form alkaline picrate. Alkaline picrate. So you must know that these alkaloidal reagents, actually the protein will behave as base, and this is neutralized by the alkaloidal reagent, which are negatively charged particles, so which are carrying negatively charged. So these are the alkaloidal reagents which will neutralize the proteins. So another test we'll see, that is called as precipitation by organic solvent. Precipitation by organic solvent. Three ml of original solution, precipitation by alcohol. Alcohol is nothing but it is an organic solvent. So you can see that this organic solvent, we are using alcohol in the form of ethanol. 3 ml of original solution plus 2 ml of absolute alcohol. And observation will be white precipitation. Proteins are precipitate and they show the white color. And here in inference you can see that this is a process of dehydration. Dehydration means removal of water cell will occur there, and you can see that precipitation by alcohol. Now we'll see the precipitation at isoelectric pH. For this we are using casein. Casein is nothing but it is a derived protein. So here in the test we are taking 3 ml of casein, which is having the pH 4.6. And in the observation what will happen? 3 ml of casein plus 1 ml of BCG indicator. BCG, or we can say that 2 drops of BCG indicator, where you are taking in a test tube. You should use the test tube clean. You have to wash all the test tube before starting the practical, because it is a practical belongs to precipitation reactions of protein. What is the precipitation? White color occurs after adding to the original solution. Already the original solution is white, but we have to just observe the somewhat turbidity will be there. So 3 ml of casein at 4.6 pH we are taking here, and 2 drops of BCG. Then you can see that blue color occurs there. Blue color is seen, and what will happen? The pH will become 5.4, means it will be greater than 4.6. So it is an isoelectric pH of casein, and the pH will increase here after adding 2 drops of BCG indicator. So here you must know, and you have to add to this indicator 1% acetic acid. What will happen here? Curdy white will happen. Curdy white. Now you have to add 1% acetic acid till the green color appears. And what will happen here? The isoelectric pH of this casein 4.6 means at this the change of green color will be there while adding 1% acetic acid, means that the change of the BCG or the change of the 4.6 pH will be seen and the green color appears. Now you have to add 1% acetic acid in excess. Now what will happen here? If you will add 1% acetic acid in excess, the precipitation will disappear. Means that the isoelectric pH remain beyond, the pH will remain beyond the isoelectric pH. Therefore, the disappearance of the precipitation will be there after adding excess of. So this is the precipitation at isoelectric pH. Isoelectric pH. So you must know that if you understand, it is better. First you have to take 3 ml of casein at 4.6 pH. Blue color appears after adding 2 drops of BCG indicator. The change of pH will be there greater than 4.6. Then you have to add 1% acetic acid. Curdy white precipitation occurs, and you have to add acetic acid till green color appears, drop wise. Then what will happen? The green color appears, and after adding 1% acetic acid in excess, the precipitation disappears. Means that the pH will be beyond the isoelectric pH. So here you must know that the precipitation of protein at isoelectric pH. So you must know that these are some tests belongs to precipitation reaction. Then we can see precipitation by heat coagulation. Precipitation by heat coagulation. Here in this we are taking the original solution here. Original solution we are taking here in a test tube, and this will be 3/4 of the test tube. The original solution is taken and the upper portion is boiled. The upper portion is boiled here with the help of the burner. Now you must know that if we are boiling the upper portion after adding 1% acetic acid, original solution is 3/4 part of the test tube. We are taking original solution, adding 1% acetic acid and boiling the upper portion of the test tube. Then what will happen? A coagulum will form there. A white coagulum will form. This coagulum is nothing but the aggregation of denaturation. Coagulum. This is the aggregation of the denaturation will be there, and it is called as coagulum. So coagulum is formed after hitting the test tube from the upper portion. So you must know that this is heat coagulation test which is carried out for the precipitation reactions of proteins. So you must know that these are some tests which are belongs, and here the heat coagulation test is important to find out the presence of protein. In the presence of protein is detected from the urine of the patient, from the urine of the person. If the presence of albumin will be there, means that there will be a kind of kidney disease will be there to the person. So here for the detection of albumin from the urine, the heat coagulation test is done, and a very ready or fast method is also seen for the precipitation reactions of protein, that is with the sulfosalicylic acid. So here you must know that urine is taken and 20% 5 drops of sulfosalicylic acid is added to the urine. Then there will be the formation of turbidity that shows the presence of albumin. Means these are the processes which are carried out in the laboratory for the detection of albumin before going to the operation. Sometimes what happens, there will be the side laboratories will be there in the hospitals, and before taking to the operation, the doctor says to nurse that, nurse, the urine test is essential for this patient to take for the operation if he is suffering from any kind of kidney disease, it can be known. So you must know that the heat coagulation test and sulfosalicylic acid test is done to detect the albumin in the urine. So friends, if you like my lecture, share it, like it, give some comment, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Press the button. Thank you very much.